Wellness Rhythm Show. Find your rhythm. Live your wellness.
Y'all, let me tell you about the most confusing 20 minutes of my entire year. I got my annual blood work back, my doctor popped in, said everything looks normal, and was out the door before I could even ask what half those numbers meant. I just sat there holding this printout full of acronyms, feeling like I'd failed a test I didn't know I was taking.
Right, and that experience is remarkably common. A 2019 study published in the Journal of General Internal Medicine found that physicians spend an average of just 18 minutes per appointment. Covering your entire health picture, including lab results, in that window is, let's say, optimistic.
Which means we're leaving with information that could genuinely change how we live, and we don't even know how to read it. So today we're cracking open the blood work conversation, not to play doctor, because we are absolutely not doing that, but to help you walk into that appointment actually knowing what to ask.
Exactly. Think of this as your pre-flight briefing. The panel is the instrument readout. We're just going to help you understand what the dials mean.
So let's start at the beginning. Most people get what's called a complete blood count, a CBC, and a metabolic panel. And honestly, most people have no idea what either of those is actually measuring.
Right, so let's unpack that a bit. The CBC is essentially a census of your blood cells. It looks at red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. It can flag things like anemia, infection, or immune irregularities. It's a broad first sweep.
And the metabolic panel, which sounds terrifying, is really just checking how your organs are doing. Kidneys, liver, blood sugar, electrolytes. The basic infrastructure report.
Precisely. And here's what's interesting. Many of those results come back flagged as normal based on population-wide reference ranges. But as the Cleveland Clinic has noted, normal means you fall within a range shared by roughly 95% of the general population. It does not necessarily mean optimal for you.
Okay, that distinction is huge, because I had a ferritin level that came back technically normal for years. And then I finally saw a functional medicine practitioner who looked at it and said, "Emma, this is at the bottom of normal and you are exhausted all the time. Do you see the connection?" And I just wanted to cry, honestly.
Ferritin is a perfect example. It's the protein that stores iron.
The standard lab reference range can start as low as 12 nanograms per milliliter for women. But researchers like Dr. Christy Resinger have published work suggesting that levels below 50 can still correlate with fatigue, hair thinning, and cognitive fog. Symptoms, people are told, are just stress.
Which brings us to something I think really matters for our listeners, especially the sandwich generation crowd who are running on fumes, managing kids and aging parents. You might feel terrible and still get a normal report. And that is a conversation worth having with your doctor, not just accepting.
Absolutely.
Now, let's dig deeper into one of the most talked about markers right now, fasting glucose and something called HbA1c, or hemoglobin A1c. The A1c gives a 3-month average of your blood sugar levels.
It's not just for people with diabetes, it's a critical early warning system.
And this is where I get a little fired up. Because prediabetes, which the CDC estimates affects 96 million American adults, often shows 0 symptoms. You can feel completely fine and be heading in a direction that's absolutely reversible if you catch it early.
The American Diabetes Association considers an A1c below 5.7% as normal, 5.7 to 6.4 as prediabetes, and 6.5 and above as diabetes. But some integrative practitioners like Dr. Mark Hyman advocate for keeping it closer to 5% for optimal metabolic health. Worth asking your doctor where you land on that spectrum.
Here's the thing though. This is where lifestyle actually has real leverage. Sleep, movement, fiber intake, stress management. These things directly influence your blood sugar regulation. This isn't abstract wellness advice. It shows up in your numbers.
Which segues nicely into the lipid panel, cholesterol. And I want to push back gently on the conventional summary of your cholesterol is fine.
Oh, please, because total cholesterol as a single number tells you almost nothing useful, right?
Correct.
The more nuanced picture involves your LDL particle size, your HDL levels, triglycerides, and increasingly a marker called ApoB, apolipoprotein B, which some cardiologists like Dr. Peter Attia consider a more accurate predictor of cardiovascular risk than standard LDL alone.
And most standard panels don't even test apoB automatically. You may have to specifically ask for it, which means you might walk out thinking your heart health is sorted when there's a more complete picture available.
Right, and this isn't about alarming anyone. It's about being an informed participant in your own health, which, incidentally, is exactly why we do this show.
Speaking of which, if you're finding this genuinely useful, please do us a favor and hit like and subscribe wherever you're listening. It helps us reach more people who are sitting in that exam room feeling completely lost. We appreciate every single one of you.
Now, one area I think deserves specific attention for our listeners who are 50 plus, and I'd include myself in the approaching that territory category.
Ha, barely.
Barely, yes. Vitamin D levels and thyroid function.
Both are frequently underscreened, and both have outsized effects on energy, mood, bone health, and metabolism.
Y'all, I cannot tell you how many women I know who were told their thyroid was fine based on TSH alone, that's thyroid stimulating hormone, and they're still exhausted, gaining weight, struggling. But a more complete thyroid panel includes free T3, free T4, and thyroid antibodies. And that fuller picture can tell a very different story.
The American Thyroid Association does recommend TSH as the primary screening marker. But practitioners like Dr. Isabella Wentz, who focuses on Hashimoto's disease, argue that without the full panel, autoimmune thyroid conditions can go undetected for years.
And this is genuinely where I think Emma and David have a bit of a tension point. Because David, I know you're cautious about over-testing and over-interpreting results outside of a clinical context.
I am, and I think that's a fair friction point to name.
There is real risk in going down a rabbit hole of direct-to-consumer lab testing and then self-diagnosing based on a Google search. The research on that is genuinely concerning. It can lead to unnecessary anxiety and sometimes unnecessary interventions.
Okay, fair. And I don't disagree with that risk being real.
But I think the middle path is this. Go into your appointment with specific informed questions. Ask your doctor, can we look at my full thyroid panel? Or what's my ApoB? You're not diagnosing yourself. You're advocating for a more complete conversation.
That is such a practical reframe. You're not WebMDing yourself into a spiral. You're coming prepared. Big difference.
Exactly.
And organizations like the Lab Tests online resource run by the American Association for Clinical Chemistry are genuinely excellent for understanding what each marker means in plain language before your appointment.
So let's talk about the practical stuff. Because here's the thing though, blood work alone is a snapshot. It's taken at one moment in time. Often after you've been fasting, possibly stressed, maybe not sleeping great, context matters.
That's a crucial nuance.
Results can fluctuate based on hydration, recent illness, time of day, even intense exercise the day before. A single out-of-range result is a data point, not a verdict.
Which means tracking trends over time is more useful than panicking over one number. Ask your doctor, how does this compare to my results from last year? That's where the story lives.
Well said. And one final marker worth mentioning, HSCRP, or high-sensitivity C-reactive protein. It's a measure of systemic inflammation. Dr. Andrew Weil and researchers at Harvard Medical School have linked elevated HSCRP to risk for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline.
And it's not always on a standard panel.
Again, you may have to ask for it, which is kind of the whole theme of today's episode, isn't it? You have to be in the conversation. Okay, so if you take one thing from today, it's this. Your blood work is not a pass-fail test. It's a conversation starter. Write down 2 or 3 specific questions before your next appointment. Ask about the trends, not just the single result. And remember, normal and optimal are not always the same word.
Right, and if your doctor doesn't have time to answer your questions thoroughly, ask if there's a nurse practitioner or a follow-up call available. Most practices have that option. You don't have to solve everything in 18 minutes, but you do have to show up to that conversation ready to participate.
Y'all, we are genuinely rooting for you. Whether you're juggling school pickups or managing your parents' health alongside your own, you deserve to understand what's happening in your own body. That's not a luxury. That's just basic self-respect.
Couldn't agree more. And if today's episode helped even slightly demystify that lab printout sitting on your kitchen counter, well, that's rather the point, isn't it?
This show is part of the VoxCrea.AI system. If you want a show like this for your organization without building it yourself,
go to VoxCrea.AI and request a sample episode.